guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and this is an impromptu little spur of the moment video that I thought you guys would get a kick out of. Sometimes I just jump on Cardladder and I start messing around with indexes and then looking at what certain cards are doing up or down. So I thought it would be a fun video. This is going to be the 5 best performing PSA 10 graded cards in the Cardladder Index in their database over the last 1 year, and then the 5 worst performing PSA 10 cards in the Cardladder database over the last year. Let's start with the worst first. I'll switch you guys over. Some of these are not going to surprise you. A lot of these cards are going to be what it looks like when prospecting goes bad, right? So I've got Marcus Chris's Silver Prism PSA 10 on your screen. That is the worst performing card in the Cardladder Index. That is a PSA 10 grade. It's his Silver Prism. As you can see, it's down 98%. Some poor soul bought this card the day after Christmas for $300. The last one sold for $5.51. Keep in mind it takes $30 to grade a card at PSA. So $5.51 last sold for Marcus Chris on June 4th. The next, we have another similarly situated player. Had great potential coming out, first round draft pick, lottery pick if I recall. In addition, just like Marcus Chris was, Jarrett Culver just didn't work out, couldn't shoot a basketball, was a little bit older than most, coming out of college in Texas Tech. That's his Prism Silver PSA 10. That card has a ton of data points over the last year. As you can see, it's down 94%. The card sold twice for about $85. Last sold was $5 on the nose. So for $5, for $100, you can get 20 Jarrett Culver Silver Prism PSA 10s. You could buy every single Jarrett Culver Silver Prism PSA 10 rookie card in the world for $4,500. Let that sink in. So if you're a believer in Jarrett Culver, there's not much further down he can go. You could pick up his rookies for $5. That might be something to look at if you're one of those gamblers out there, right? If you're like one of those sports gamblers that likes to bet on the Spurs winning the NBA title at 57 million to 1 or whatever. Maybe you're a person who likes long shots like that. If you buy lottery tickets at Circle K or whatever they call it in your area, Magic Market or 7-Eleven or whatever the gas stations are called wherever you people live, not in Louisiana, maybe you're the type of person who wants to go buy a boatload of Jarrett Culvers. Evan Fournier falls in here. This is his 2012 Prism Base PSA 10, which I know something about. I own this card because I'm collecting the 2012 Prism Base set in PSA 10 condition. This card once sold for $173.50. There is no question that was some extremely desperate set collector like myself. That wasn't my data point, but like me, who was trying to put together the entire set in PSA 10. I assure you that they were not Evan Fournier personal collection seekers or Evan Fournier super collector that paid $173. That was somebody who was trying to put the set together, didn't have Fournier, and overpaid because they wanted it immediately. But as you can see, the card has settled down here to 7, 5, 17, 750, whatever, for his 2012 Prism Base PSA 10. They have no faith in Evan's ability to become an elite NBA basketball player. Another one, so far we're 3 for 3 on Prism cards in PSA 10. Another one is Josh Jackson. Once a highly renowned, he was Michael Bridges before Michael Bridges. Unfortunately, only Michael Bridges ended up being Michael Bridges, and Josh Jackson ended up being Josh Jackson, not Michael Bridges. And he is down to $6.53 last sold. Someone paid $95 in September of 2021, so less than a year ago. Maybe when he got traded to Detroit, they thought he was going to make a move. Plenty of data points on him because he really was a pretty collectible player. He's been as high as, oh my gosh, $300 for his Silver Prism PSA 10. There's no doubt that was squarely in the first quarter of 2021. But Josh Jackson, unfortunately, is in a similar boat to the other guys we just mentioned, down 93% over the last year. And that's his card, guys, by the way. Sorry, my face was in the way. Next is Nicholas Claxton. Nicholas Claxton's Base Prism down 92%. Once at $74, once at almost $100. The Nicholas Claxton Base Prism PSA 10 last sold for $3. So any of you Nick Claxton collectors out there, you can go stack up his Base Prism cards for $3. Again, I want to reiterate, it's $30 to grade a card at PSA. But there's 295 Nicholas Claxton PSA 10s at $3 for a PSA 10. I don't anticipate that pop is going to grow very much because the ends don't justify the means when grading, unless you are trying to collect a set or something like that. And in that case, you would probably be better off just going and buying the stinking card and putting it in your set rather than trying to grade it yourself. So that's the 5 worst. So you're thinking to yourself, Prism is down. Prism is all down, but that's not necessarily the case because look, I'll pull this up. I'm just going to type in the word before we look at the PSA 10s that have gone up the most. I'm going to type in Prism PSA 10 and then sort it the other way. And you can see green upon green upon green. So you can't just say, well, all Prism-based PSA 10s or all Prism Silver PSA 10s are down. That is definitely not the case. If we go back up here, and even when we plug in the word silver, there are some silver Prisms that have exploded over the last year. A lot of them, right? Terrence Ferguson, for example, which makes no sense to me because I put him in the same category as Josh Jackson and Claxton and all of those guys. But Elie Okobo, same thing. Caleb Swanigan, same thing. Marcus Smart makes a little more sense, right? You can see the Marcus Smart cards up a little bit here, up 200%. You got an Ivan Rabb silver PSA 10. Someone got crazy and wild and bought one for $13.50, coming off a $5 sale before. But this just gives, goes to show you not all silver PSA 10s are down. I mean, even Grant Williams over the last year here has grown from a $15 card to the last one selling at almost $40. So I know that sounds funny, and we're talking about a few bucks here and there. But if you own 25 or 30 of these Grant Williams, that's real money, right? Zaire Smith, Frank Jackson, Rodions Kurucs. What is Frank Jackson doing going up? People are starting to dive into Frank Jackson. Shout out to @BGilgis on Instagram. He is a Frank Jackson super collector. That card's at $34 last sold. Andrew Wiggins, of course, we know he had that great run during the playoffs. His cards ran up. I think people finally realized Chris Middleton is a fantastic player. His silver PSA 10 is only a pop 23. Of course, it's from the 2012 Prism set, where silvers are, very, very important and very low pop. But 800, 760. Last one sold 1,600. Damn, that's a huge sale in March of 2022. So that just goes to show you not all Prism cards and certainly not all Prism silvers are down. But let's look at the good, right? We always look at the bad. Here are the cards in PSA 10 that are in the Cardladder Index that have gone up the most over the last year. And it's not going to surprise you that a lot of these cards are older cards where PSA 10 means more then than it does now. Some of these are going to be outliers, but this is no doubt a product of set collecting. I keep telling you guys at some point, I think these 90s insert sets and parallel sets in a high grade are going to become a thing, and it's going to become a set chase. Somebody's out there trying to put together the 92 Stadium Club Beam Team set, and they needed the Tim Hardaway, and set collectors are not rational people. I can say that because I am one. I'm telling you from experience, if you guys have a PSA 10 of a non-Jordan, Kobe, or Shaq insert that matters from the 90s, you can make money on those cards. If you buy raw, grade them, get a 10 and flip it, you can make real money. And this is a great example. The Tim Hardaway from one of the most recognizable sets out there from the 90s, obviously one of Jordan's earliest inserts, the Stadium Club Beam Team. The card, in October, about, 10 months ago, something like that. Card sold for $68, $175, $275, $600, guys. 68 to 600. That is a 783% increase in value. That is real money, man. That's $540, $532 that somebody just made on a Tim Hardaway card if you bought then and sold then. Of course, that's probably not the same card. I'm not looking because it doesn't matter, but you get my point. Same exact thing applies here. 21 pop for this Dikembe Mutombo Hot Numbers PSA 10. This is another great set from the 90s, visually appealing, would appeal to a lot of set collectors. This Mutombo card in January of this year, $60. Last sold $400. Pop 21. So if you're a set collector and you need it, sometimes you pay an exorbitant, irrational price to go get it. Interestingly enough, with only 21 of them out there, that has a double the market cap of a Jarrett Culver Silver Prism PSA 10. But same thing. We're going back to that Beam Team. Is it a thing? I think it is. I think the 92 Beam Team Stadium Club set in PSA 10 condition matters. First of all, who is that jumping up there? Good Lord, that's New York? Is that Stark? Yeah, that's Starks. Good night. He's way off the ground, right? Well, I guess he's not. His hands are below the rim. But that's a big-time card. It's a Pop 47. It's David Robinson. It's not Jordan. It's not Shaq. It's just David Robinson. But that's a 39,000 market cap with only 47 PSA 10s out there. The David Robinson was $100 in October. You know, here we are 8 months later. 10 months later, it's a $600 card. Not once, twice over a 4-month period there. So that just gives you guys an idea of the power of set collecting. I'd make videos about this all the time. Two of the greatest investments I've ever made in the hobby were the 86 Fleer PSA 10 set and the PMG Red partial set, which I ended up liquidating. I didn't even get the whole set. Those are two of the greatest investments I've ever personally made in the hobby. So, you know, anybody who thinks set collecting is just for, you know, hobby nerds who are going to take their cards to the grave, that's not the case. You can make great money and have fun doing it. You can collect them and enjoy collecting them and enjoy the chase, and then actually sell those cards or even just sell the duplicates and make great money, at some point in the near future. Now, this one's an outlier, but I can tell you for a fact, this is not a Bismack Biyombo super collector that just paid $600 for this card in March. It's a set collector. It's someone out there. You know, I'm collecting the base set. There are people out there, I know for a fact, I know Nat Turner is trying to collect the gold set. I think there are some people that are looking at the green set, which is a biscuit to collect, to say the least. And then there's the silver set. Pop 7 card, really difficult to grade. These 2012 Prism Silvers have these little hairline scratches, usually over here. I'm trying to show you on my screen, over here or over here on the edges, sometimes up here at the top. But when you put those cards raw in one of those white long boxes, you get those hairline scratches from other cards because there's so much sheer silver on the surface. PSA 10s are very difficult to get when you send them to PSA. PSA's locked them up. There's only 7 of them. A set collector needed the Bismack, and he paid $600 to have it. Terrence Ferguson, this one I really can't explain. I'm going to say there's only a few data points, and this may be, again, it's $16. Maybe somebody was collecting the rookie silver PSA 10 set, and they're like, who cares, $5, $16, whatever. So that's not a good one. This 72 Pete Maravich only sold twice, but, in a 9-month period, 14,000 all the way up to 66,000. It's a Pop 6 card, guys, with no PSA 10s being added. It's one of those deals where, if you see it, you may not see it for a year or two. Etuan Moore, base PSA 10, not enough of a sample size. Who would pay $109 for an Etuan? I don't know about that. That's definitely a set collector. Luckily, I already have that one. I didn't pay that, I know, but somebody did, $109. And then there's Elia Kobo's Silver Prism PSA 10 over the last year. One sold for $3. Somebody forked out $14 for the last one and grabbed it. We're going to see another Stadium Club right there. Let's do this. I want to plug this in, and this is not something that I had planned. Let's plug in Beam Team PSA 10. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, guys, take a quick look. I'm just shedding the light on something, and this is the kind of thing that you can discover by looking at the Cardladder Indexes. If you're sitting on some Beam Team PSA 10s, it might be a good time to sell them. Tim Hardaway up 783. We looked at Robinson. Glenn Rice up 325%. There you go over there on the right. Karl Malone up a monstrous 258%. Patrick Ewing up 213%. Clyde Drexler up. I mean, guys, the list goes on. Kevin Johnson, the list goes on. Jeff Hornacek, every single one of these cards is up a massive, massive percentage. Chris Mullin only up a little bit, but somebody did click probably the buy it now button at 350 right there. I mean, the Jordan is one of the worst performing. He's flat, and that's the Beam Team members only, which is one of his huge insert parallels. That card, is a humongous card. It's at $5,400. A year ago, it was at $5,400, so not much movement at all. But guys, look at that. That's just something to keep in mind. If you're looking to make moves from from an investor standpoint, these are the kind of things you just kind of stumble on when you're looking at the Cardladder Index. Anyway, not a long video. I just wanted you guys to see the 5 worst performing PSA 10s and the 5 best performing PSA 10s. And then as a little, as we say in Louisiana, a little lagniappe, we just discovered at the same time together in loving harmony that the Beam Team 92 Stadium Club Beam Team PSA 10 set is on a run, a massive run. From set collectors, or at least 2 people pushing those prices up for sure. And again, I'll be straight transparent. I am not collecting the 92 Stadium Club Beam Team PSA 10 set or any grade set, so I am not pumping those cards. But it is a trend that I'm starting to notice. Hot numbers, Beam Team, Scoring Kings, Those cards are starting to move a little bit, guys. You know, if we look at, let's look at this. I want to look at something else. Sorry, let me pull this back up. I don't want to end this video yet because I want to test this theory. Let's check this out. I want to check out, let's see if we can pull this up. Let's check out Scoring Kings PSA 9. Wait, we got to put 1993 in there. Let's just see. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so check this out. Scoring Kings, I put PSA 9 because the PSA 10 pops. Some of them are less than 10, so those are not going to have enough data points. Look at what the Ewing has done over the last year. Scoring Kings, PSA 9. This is set collectors, guys. This is one of the most iconic sets out there. And there's 10 cards, 9 of them are Hall of Famers. The Larry Johnson's the only non-Hall of Famer. Look what the non-Hall of Famers done from 142, 140, 160. The last one sold 280. That's double, fellas. That's up 96% over the last year. David Robinson, PSA 7, he's card number 9. Even the 7s are going up. Joe Dumars up. Dominique Wilkins up, one of the toughest 10s in the set. It is the toughest PSA 10 to get in the set. Alonzo Mourning, 9, up. David Robinson, 9, up. Charles Barkley, 9, up. All of these cards are up, fellas. I'm just showing you. This is set collecting, right? Pushing those cards up. This is not Barkley collectors, David Robinson collectors, Joe Dumars collectors, if there are any out there. It's not Larry Johnson collectors. This is people chasing the sets. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys that 90 sets are becoming a thing. I'm not hyping it. I'm not collecting any of those sets right now that I know of. I'm trying to think. No, I think I'm pretty much just collecting Jordan and Shaq. I have some cards of various, 90s Hall of Famers, a couple Olajuwons and stuff like that, but I'm not at the moment trying to put these sets together in PSA 10, but there's a lot of amazing collectors out there who are. And when they get to the finish line and they post pictures, of those sets on Instagram, it's really cool to look at. Like I saw somebody the other day, I think it was in a Facebook group, maybe 90s basketball cards on Facebook, where they posted a picture of a complete 1992 Stadium Club Beam Team set. I can't remember if it was all PSA 10s or if it was mixed or whatever, but it just looks cool, and it's a great feeling when you get to the finish line as a set collector and you can finally take a picture and share it with your hobby friends. So it's a thing, it's out there, but that really wasn't the purpose of this video, but that's just the direction it took. So I just wanted to share with you some of the cool stuff you stumble upon in the Cardladder Indexes. We saw the worst PSA 10 performers. We saw the best PSA 10 performers. It's crazy that some of these guys were so hot 2 years ago, 1 year ago, and now you can buy their PSA 10 silvers for $5, something like that. If any of these guys ever did have a resurgence, it could be an incredible rags to riches story, but I'm not the guy that's going to go out there and put $4,000 into Jarrett Culver hoping for the best. I guess a lot of people think that ship has sailed, and if that train was going to be on the tracks, it would have been on there already, and maybe that window's closed. Maybe he'll tear it up in Reykjavik playing in the Iceland Professional League, but I don't think Jarrett Culver has a lot of meat left on the bone as far as his NBA career. But if you're a gambler, there's guys out there like that. Go look around, guys. Some of these guys are in the bargain bin, and if their career ever does have a resurgence, it could be huge profits, but not my thing, but just wanted to shed some light on that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if there's anybody out there, any diamonds in the rough that you guys have seen that have dropped $10 for their silver PSA 10 or something crazy like that. Also, let me know your thoughts. Am I wrong? Am I crazy to say that I am seeing a resurgence, or not a resurgence, a surge in 1990s insert set collecting in high grade? Again, there's numerous data points, so I don't think this is an anomaly or an aberration. I think this is a real deal that's going on. I think investors are finding that they can collect and invest, and the 90s is a great place to do both. I can speak for that because it's it is my favorite decade of basketball cards. So thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting, stay positive in the hobby, and peace.